And I'm here today to speak to Dr. Stacy Kennedy, Pro Vice-Chancellor Global Affairs at the University of the West Indies, and Professor John Agard, Executive Director for the Global Institute, to speak about the Institute, what we can expect from it, and a little bit more about the launch. Good morning, and thank you so much, Dr. Kennedy and Professor Agard, for making time to speak with me today. Professor Agard, what is the significance of this Climate Institute?
Well, the university is trying to help the Caribbean region by harnessing all of its experts. It's one university, and we have experts who are on different campuses, and we're bringing them all together through this new institute.
So what are some of the clear objectives of the Institute?
Yes, well, the Institute is not going to act on its own. It has collaborators. So it's going to collaborate with not only local and regional and national partners, we'll be collaborating with UWI on climate smart and resilient development, but it's also going to improve scientific understanding of the changing climate. We're in a situation now where, we have extreme rainfall in some years, and we have droughts in other years. So the climate machine seems to be going out of wonk, in fact. And we've had, just years, in the last few years, we've had Category 5 hurricanes in the Caribbean, and that has destroyed mainly coastal communities and so forth. So we have some input to do to try and do this better. Every year in the Caribbean, there is a hurricane season, and we can't do the same thing that gets mashed up every year and have our hands out asking people for money. We have to do better, build back better. Okay, so we have expertise, we can help with this. And so that expertise is in areas like not only natural sciences and engineering and finance and policy and so forth. So we're going to bring the social displacement of people when a hurricane, your house is destroyed and stuff like this. There are a whole set of issues and so forth. So it's not only just the science part, but also the social part as well, where we have expertise that we can help with that. And we're also going to help the public in developing climate literacy. Many people don't understand what is happening, in fact. So education people about the vulnerabilities and so forth are some of the things we're going to bring to the table as well. I hope that explains our context.
It does. So what I'm seeing is some actual tangible impacts for the man on the ground. Because, things happen at the university level and sometimes people don't know how it relates to them. So in the instance of impacting how we build the engineering, how we put up better structures that could withstand Category 5 hurricanes. So
right, yes.
Tangible impacts we will see from the Institute.
Yes, so we have actually projects going on now. Part of the problem in the Caribbean is that many people put, galvanized and stuff on their roofs. Okay.
Yes.
And that cannot withstand 150 mile per hour winds. It blows off, house is destroyed and stuff like that. We see that happening all of the time. So part of the engineering process is that in the faculties of engineering, they have come up with construction details that if you can afford it, you should do this. So one of the things is pushing on concrete roofs, in fact, okay, with reinforced concrete. And if you don't have all of the money to do that, if you could have at least one room in your house that has concrete and, and stuff like this, the same way that people in areas that have tornadoes abroad have a basement that they could, okay?
Right.
So that is part of what we have to communicate. And also don't put your roofs with, tiles and wood that will blow off because it's not connected onto the concrete. So those are some of the practical things that we are pushing. One of the other things that we've learned is that when there's some countries, when there's a hurricane and electricity goes, if it is possible, if you have some solar panels, you could bring them inside, when the hurricane is coming, and then take them back outside. So even if there's no electricity, you will have some source of electricity from a solar panel. Okay, so those are practical things.
I was going to ask you, how does that move from recommendations to actual practice on the ground? So the Institute is going to be working with government agencies to create policy, to create law for these things to be implemented.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. That is a critical, one of the missions of this institute, to increase the science policy interface. You cannot have people who are in decision-making positions and doing things that don't make any sense and that will damage the population. So part of our advocacy is really to pass things into policy and law. So that's the science policy interface. So actually, we have assigned persons to specifically lead in that area, in fact.
So we're looking forward to having, all of our partners from across the region join forces with the University of the West Indies as we embark upon this very important, venture to leverage the important climate science that we have at our disposal and the advocacy work to advance the agenda.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Kennedy. Thank you, Professor Agard. I really look forward to seeing the fruits of your labor where this institute is concerned. I really want, hope people become part of this exciting movement. And
yes, and
be a little more resilient when it comes to battling climate change.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you very
much.